like to welcome everybody to the March 6th Police Accountability Board meeting. We'll start with welcome and introductions. The welcome is thank you for watching and being here in person. Dr. Myers.
Good evening, Dr. Leslie Myers-Small, Executive Director.
The Reverend Keith Patterson, Alliance seat. It's great to be here on this blustery March evening.
Larry Knox, Board Chair, Northeast Council seat.
William Clark, Mayor's appointee.
Arlene Brown, Alliance seat, and I'm so glad that you all chose to spend this time with us. We're doing exciting work and we're happy to know that you all care.
And Luam Teklab, East Council seat.
And members Yvonne Wilson and Rabbi Settle are excused for today. All right, we have approval of the meeting minutes. They've been emailed out and are also in front of you.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
All right, we'll start off with our staff reports.
Thank you. Good evening again. And a lot of this is certainly review for the board, but it's important for us to share out with the community what we have, some of our major accomplishments and initiatives, etc., since the last board meeting. So as the public knows, certainly our mission remains centered on transparency, accountability, and effective oversight. And how we do that is by engaging with the community, advancing policy directives, and by also improving internal operations. So I have a few areas that I'd like to provide updates in, and these are in no particular order. I'll start with community engagement and public affairs, and particularly public and stakeholder engagements. Since the last meeting, I conducted one-on-one meetings with 8 of 9 city council members. We had great discussions and received positive feedback on the direction of the agency as well as staff development. Additionally, I've been able to engage with faith leaders and advocacy groups, strengthening the partnerships and advancing our equity outreach efforts. I presented to United Christian Leadership Ministries, known as the acronym UCLM, and now they have asked if we would provide biannual updates, which is wonderful. And then very excited to share that the Police Accountability Board, for the first time, will present at the Civilian Police Academy in the spring of 2025 to educate the public on civilian oversight and law enforcement policies. So we are very excited about that and just waiting for the date. Also under community engagement and public affairs, the survey, as you know, that closed on February 18th, 2025. We had 212 responses, and we have a team working on conducting the analysis. So the goal is to complete that analysis and present the analysis at the April board meeting, okay? Under case management and investigations, we had 6 new cases that were filed. The board reviewed 3 cases, have been sent to RPD, and then we have final publication that will happen soon, hopefully by the end of this month. We continue to review Reduct, which is the software, and our digital forensic analyst, as well as Ben Whitwer, are continuing to review. We're working with IT, and this helps us to enhance the review of body-worn camera footage. We also have been continue to work closely with Chief Smith, and we're able to secure some agreements relative to 911 call logs for ongoing investigations, the workload analysis data for specific cases, and then releasing footage for anonymous complaints.
Can you tell me more about the workload analysis data?
Ben, would you take the lead on that one for me? Ben Whitworth, Deputy Executive Director and General Counsel.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yeah, we have a number of projects that we're doing in the Policy and Oversight Division that relate to analysis of the police department's workload, like how much work do they have to do, how do they go about doing it, how do they determine the resources they need based on the need for their services. So basically just like an entire budgetary overhaul. And one of the things that we're looking at is workload analysis as it relates to calls for service, which is calls to 911 or other resources where RPD might be triggered to respond. So we're trying to determine how frequently, per day, per week, et cetera, RPD services are requested by the public. And then obviously we're gonna analyze, how they're responding to those requests, whether they need resources or whether there are other issues that impact their ability to respond to those requests. We've received a lot of feedback both from the community and the board that the public wants to know about 911 response times, and that is encompassed in what we're looking at with the workload analysis.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Under our legal update, the Locust Club lawsuit, we continue to move forward. Relative to that, the judge did decline to dismiss the case. So he has moved it to the summary judgment phase, and we have the next court date, which is on April 10th. And we continue to work with our legal counsel to prepare for that court date. The New York Civil Liberties Union versus the City of Rochester, the court confirmed that unsubstantiated police misconduct records are public. So that's, as we knew that to be, but City of Rochester, again, was not in agreement with that, and so it went to court, and it was judged accordingly.
So will that decision have any impact on the Locust Club lawsuit? Seems like it should almost dismiss it.
It doesn't dismiss it. It does not. We certainly can reference it, but, yeah.
Okay.
Under policy and oversight, I think I shared this previously, the equity in policing, which is General Order 502. We are working with RPD leadership to ensure that there's transparency in mutual aid agreements and restrict involvement in federal immigration enforcement. So policy and oversight is working with the public affairs and community engagement team to roll that out. So more to come on that. And the policy team is analyzing the Monroe County mental health data to assess mental health related law enforcement interactions, which we know is an important topic. Under training and professional development, is that something that is a focus and we place an emphasis on? NACOL, which is the National Association of Civilian Oversight of Law Enforcement, we participated in a webinar on digital video evidence, and that was on February 21st. The board had a training last week on open meetings law and the charter training. And then the next day, we had an all-staff language access training, which was conducted by Heather, who is our language access coordinator. And we just came through a training and discussion from Breakthrough Leadership Consulting, where they conducted a SWOT analysis, and that was very informative. So certainly more to come on that. Under financial and administrative updates, my recent meeting with Council President Melendez to discuss the budget process, some priorities, certainly looking at staffing and some technology improvements, so we continue to move through that process. As I just mentioned, Breakthrough Leadership Consulting continues to provide support relative to strategic planning, and it's a continual process of incorporating stakeholder input. We are continuing to have discussions about 57 St. Paul Street, so we're coordinating with the City of Rochester. Next, communication strategy update. We are evaluating the effectiveness of social media engagement. And what we're looking at, the strong possibility of discontinuing the use of Twitter, also known as X, in favor of TikTok and LinkedIn for stronger engagement. I received a proposal from from Public Affairs and Community Engagement on that. And it's really exciting. We have website updates, which are in the planning process, and I saw the team meeting today. And what we're doing is we're working to incorporate best practices from the Chicago Civilian Oversight and New Orleans. So we're looking at making it certainly more user-friendly, more accessible, incorporating more data reports on the website, and also just engagement efforts, so like videos and things of that nature. This is, the next part is very exciting, personnel and hiring updates. So new staffing, recruitment. We have 2 new colleagues who I'll ask to join us up front. And Ben, if you'd like to introduce.
Let's do them one by one. We're very excited about both of them. This is Kanan Tiagarajan. He's our new Director of Investigations. I'm passing the torch. It's very exciting. He decades of experience in the financial industry, dealing with regulatory compliance, fraud investigations, and just managing large operations. He's been here for about 2 weeks. He's hit the ground running. Kanan.
Thank you, Ben. I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to ensure that our reports are of a very high standard, totally objective, unbiased, and timely. I look forward to serving the community in Rochester, and thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Where are you coming from? Where did you move from?
I moved from Texas.
Kanan has hit the ground running. He has been incredible. How long has it been?
9 days.
9 days, not even 12, right. But he's just really hit the ground running, and just, I love the experience, but just a kind and compassionate individual, and we're really excited to have him. It's an honor to work with him.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Now introducing Kevin Ramble, our newest staff attorney, who comes to us from Vermont, but has roots here in Rochester and has been a sort of part-time Rochester resident for quite a while. Kevin also has decades of experience, legal experience, doing I think all manner of law, but especially focusing on criminal defense, juvenile defense, and he's kind of like, I don't know, I'll let you speak more to it, but a wide range of legal career. We're really excited that he's come to work with us.
Thanks for the introduction, Ben. Thanks for greeting me and meeting me here. I do come from Vermont, where I've lived for the past 22 years. Prior to that, I am from Long Island. I've been practicing law for about, since 1994, so it's been a while. I was going to say 20-something years, but it's not. It's more than that. Practicing mainly, most recently, criminal defense and juvenile law in Vermont, and I hope that my experience will benefit the Police Accountability Board, and I look forward to working with everybody here. It's been 4 days that I started.
Counting.
4 days that I counted. So trying to learn people's names and the systems and how things are done here. And I'm picking it up, so.
Good.
Thank
Well,
you.
welcome to the Flatland. I did my ordination process in Vermont.
Did you really?
So Bennington, Arlington, Manchester.
I'm from Manchester.
Yeah, yeah.
Very interesting.
Kevin has been a joy to work with in these past 4 days. And again, he's hitting the ground running. There's a lot to learn about the Police Accountability Board, but he's a sponge and he's soaking it all in. He's working well with Hojan, our other staff attorney. And I know Ben is equally excited about both Kanan and Kevin and able to transfer some of those things. Just so the board understands, both Kevin and Hojan will report directly to Ben, as they are both of our attorneys, okay? So just to make that's clear. So we'll get you, Victoria's working on the org chart, and we'll get that out to you hopefully tomorrow in the Friday letter, so you can see that.
Great.
Okay?
Yeah,
Any
thank you.
other
Welcome
questions?
aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
So-
good to meet you.
Kevin and Kanan, bye. You do not have to stay, don't feel obligated, because I know you might, it's been a long day.
Yeah. Congratulations on Ben only having 5 jobs now.
Right, exactly. Brianna's like, bye, can I go too? That makes it easier. And it's also nice to see Ian, one of our staff members here, so thank you for being here as well. Also under hiring, bilingual case manager interviews are in progress. So I know Dolores, our director of case management, has, interviews tomorrow. The policy data analyst selection is underway. We're continuing, they'll be doing interviews for the digital forensic analyst next week. And Human Resources and the city approved our webmaster role to full-time. So that will start effective March 24th. And the posting for the Director of Public Affairs and Community Engagement, and I have to say we thank Sandra certainly for doing that in the interim. But I hope to get applications soon to review, and my goal, I've worked with Victoria, we've already put dates on the calendar, and the hope is to have that process concluded by the first week in April. It's aggressive, but it's doable. Okay?
With the webmaster being full-time, what expanded, what does that include?
So several things. Certainly, our website really needed a lot of work, and it just, there's not enough time, but Lou is also making sure that we have the protections in place for our website. He's doing some work relative to Case IQ and providing some support there. So he's really, there's more than enough work for him, yes. But we're really excited to have that position expanded to full-time, and he's excited too. So just a few upcoming priorities. We're just going to continue to expand community engagement with our faith leaders, with advocacy groups and youth organizations. And actually, in just a moment, Sandra, if you want to start coming to the front for your presentation. The goal is to visit Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability in the fall. They've had some leadership changes, and they just said a visit isn't just going to be good right now for them. We obviously are continuing advocacy, policy advocacy, and equity in policing and civilian oversight. And so we also presented to you our PAB reports. And just so the public knows, we do upload this report usually the day after the board meeting, so it's accessible, again, in the spirit of accountability and transparency, so it is there. So you can see the past several months, I think going all the way back to September or August, they are posted. So, we're continuing to making strides in investigations and engaging with the community, policy oversight, etc. And so we just continue to navigate these legal decisions, implement strategic priorities, and to the board, I just want to thank you for your continued support. So that concludes my report. And then Sandra just has an update on one of our charter requirements that involves board members.
Indeed. I want to send around the draft. I was hoping that I would be able to catch you all so you could go to our board and see all that we're planning on doing, part of our strategic planning. And I want to say that I appreciate all of your support, and we're going to look for more of your support, and especially the training, because we want our strategic plan is to be implemented starting in May of 2025. And in that, part of that is you coming together and learning what we say when we go out to the various sections that you are representing or servicing. And that's not just you by yourself, but it will also be with City Council. So I have a couple of things that I do want to tell you about, which I didn't. I hope the executive director, I forgot to clear it with her. But anyway, a couple of things, and that is the fact that one of the items that we found out when we did the survey is that Police Accountability Board, when the people hear that, they think it's with the police department and not a separate entity. And so what we've been tossing around is how we can keep PAB, obviously, because that's in the charter, but to add to it a couple of names, meaning we were looking at oversight agency for the PAB board, or the Office of Oversight, or the Office of Accountability, and have it underneath where we have transparency and public safety. And it would be translated in both English as well as Spanish, and that sometime we would have to do it in the other 13 languages. So I have made copies so you can see what, actually I made copies of everything that I'm gonna talk about, so I'll pass it around. Okay, so that's one item that I needed to bring up. And you'll see that it's in English as well as in Spanish. The second item I'm bringing up is concerning the outline of our strategic plan. I want to give credit and kudos.
Can I just interrupt, because I don't want there to be confusion with the board.
Okay.
When Sandra says strategic plan, this is their focus, right? Not the strategic plan that we're working on, and so I know you like that language, but I just want to make sure that it's clear and not confusing respectfully.
I'm
okay?
sorry. Our focus is on getting the name of the organization out there and to get more people involved, number one, and number two, so people can understand what we're all about. Because after doing the survey, as well as going out there, you will see when you look at this draft that I just sent to you on pages, and the pages go on. We are looking at the districts or the quadrants for Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, and Southeast, and we consider the fifth quadrant or district to be the downtown business area. And we want to hit all of those.
We just have a request, can you face this way and turn to the board, but face this way for the recording?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. What you see, first of all, this map that I have passed out to you, this is the Northwest, Northeast, and Southwest, and Southeast, and that little black mark shows you where the downtown area is. This is what we're going to be hitting in the next 2 years. This is what we've hit already in those areas, in those districts. So we're trying to, not trying, but we're going to expand. And what you see is not only with you, but we're looking for the public, I gotta make sure I say this, Police Accountability Board Alliance to come alongside of us also. And as we move along, this is just a draft that is going to be, this is just a draft that is going to be given to the executive director when we make our appeal to you at our final focus, as well as where we're going to go and what it's going to take to get everybody involved. I think I mentioned to you before that it's going to take all of you to go with us, as well as city council members, as well as the alliance. And what the executive director as well as the deputy director have promised is that we would be able to also use staff in the various divisions to also go out with us, because there are times when we're unable to answer those questions. And if we can have those folks who understand investigation or case management, or even what policy and oversight is about, people will be have a better understanding what PAB is all about. And as well as the fact that we're looking for the volunteers for the community to come on board and work with us in a diligent way. Because there's no way that 4 people in the office can do all that we're doing. And I have to commend Vi as well as Kevin for all the work they have done in the last 4 months, and to reach this many people and to be out as often as they are out. So again, the draft, and I'm not going to take up a lot more time because my boss is looking at me. The draft is to tell you exactly what we want to do, part of it, and you can get to see that the focus is not only in the southwest and the northeast, the southeast, and the southwest, where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. But we need your commitment to work with us, as well as the commitment of the others that we have outlined in this. And the other part of it is the language. We want to make sure that we have the folks who can do the interpretation for us, whether it be ASL or whether it be Hispanic or Latino, or even some of the other 13 languages that we find that is necessary for the refugees. I have to say also, which is not included in here, is the fact that we are signing up our executive director to go out into some of these places, which she's already started, and make a presentation to the various agencies as well as organizations. And our next one is one of the largest ones, and that's Rochester Black Business Association, where they have over like 150 members that she will be making an appeal to come alongside of us. And that's just a start. And when I say May 2nd, we're already hitting the ground, hitting places that we have not been before, and we're hoping to do even more than that. So I hope that I gave you enough information that you can go and review. And then at the next time when we meet, we will ask you if you have any questions and be able to give you even a more in-depth focus on what we're doing.
That's great. Thank you so much, because it's the community that we need to have partner with us to make sure that we are meeting their needs and that we get the input and we are servicing them. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Sandra. I just want to add, both for the board, but certainly for the public, the PAB has guidelines through the city charter. And one of the items in the city charter is that each, our board members who are in districts, so they have a city council member that it corresponds with their appointment, they have to go out at least once a year into the district and do some type of presentation. So this work that Sandra outlined fulfills a charter requirement that has to happen. So we have a few more months to go, and we will reach our target, but this is a requirement. This is certainly good work, and it's a good thing to do, but it is also a chartered requirement.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Anything else from your report, Dr. Myers?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, chair's report. I want to thank the board. I missed my first board meeting last month.
I know,
And
me too.
Dr. Myers also, and the place did not fall apart.
No,
And
still here.
And it just shows not that we're expecting that to happen, but, you know, you have people that lead, I'm the leader of the board, work with great board people that can always step in and do what needs to be done. If I'm not around, same thing with Dr. Myers. She was not able to be at the meeting, but everything ran smoothly. So again, I just want to thank all the fellow board members, and I'm sure Dr. Myers is saying with the staff that, you know, even us not being here in person, the work continues. Which I think is what the citizens expect, but you know, as we continue to improve our work here in the agency and doing the work, and I just was really glad to see that, you know, both of us being here, there wasn't any issue. I didn't even think about there being an issue either, you know. Where, you know, a few years ago that might not have been the case. I'm gonna have a quick report. Number one, I think, you know, I said this in I think our December meeting or November meeting of the importance of what we have here and how precious it is, and even more now, without getting too political, considering we see what's under attack in our country from various places, and, you know, the civilian review oversight of law enforcement is one of those places where not everybody has the privilege or opportunity to have that in their community.
Yeah.
Luckily we have that in New York State. Not everywhere in New York State has that. There are many states that would never have an opportunity to have that, I think, after January, and states that do have it where those kind of organizations are are also under attack. It doesn't get as much publicity as some of the other things that are happening in our country, but, you know, civilian review law enforcement is something that's not as well supported as it was after the election. So I think it's really important as we do our work, that you continue to support us in the community, that we continue to get out in the community so we can find out how we can support you more as a community member that wants this work to happen, but also kind of understand that what we do here is not something that everybody has an opportunity to take part in our country, and it's even more important that we get it right and do what is needed, what the citizens voted for, because it's pretty precious, and even more so in this place that we're in right now. All right, committee reports, training. We did have a training last week on open government and the charter. It's yearly training that we do for board members. If you haven't taken it yet, every board member is required to go through it at least once. And I heard it went really well, and it's, again, the charter is, as referenced a couple of times today, it is really important. It's also on our website, if you haven't seen it. We have a link to it where it outlines, you know, what the public expected us to do when we got voted in. And being a public board, New York State has requirements of us, and underneath open meetings law, and we also got training on that. You can also, you know, go to New York State open meetings, I can't remember what the website, but if you Google New York State open meetings law, you know, that it kind of goes into the reason that you have to have public board meetings, put them out in advance, and discuss things publicly, which you know, goes back to accountability, and we obviously believe in that. We have to make sure we do it properly, and that was what that training was about for the training committee, and also we have upcoming trainings from NACO and other board-related trainings that are dictated by the charter. Any questions on training committee? Any old business for anybody?
No, we're good.
Any new business? All right, we have an executive session. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to adjourn an executive session to talk about personnel matters and potential legal or legal actions. All in favor of going to executive session?
Aye.
We are adjourned for executive session. we are back from executive session. Thank you, everybody still watching online. We took no votes on any matters. And I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Thank you, everybody, for watching. These minutes will go up shortly on our rockpab.org. Thank you.